also have a mic to pass to the media, but your comments.
Well, first, I'd like to give a special thanks to the Liberty Bowl. The people here in Memphis have been so welcome to us, and it's been a great bowl game for us. But I also want to thank our seniors for the hard work they've done, and so many of these guys have prepared over the last month. 12 practices, have really done a great job, and it was a total team effort. I mean, we had ups and downs in the game, swings and momentum. A lot of things went on in that game, and I got a lot of respect for Gary Patterson and his program, the TCU program. They have always done good things, and they will continue to do that. But I'm proud of these guys, these young men on our team. They do not quit, people. They keep working, working, and working, and they never stop. They don't look at the scoreboard, which is what we ask them to do, and that turned out well for them today.
Questions?
Kirby, what's the difference on offense and being stubborn and being committed to the run?
I think those are very similar, and it's a fine line. Stubborn and committed. Sometimes you have to do things offensively you may not want to do. You have to do. In every team, to me, at the end of the day, you look at this rushing stats, and it says rushing yards for UGA, 248. Rushing yards for TCU, 175. And I'm a big believer that you've got to be able to run the ball to win games. And at the end of the day, can you run the ball when you have to run the ball? And they know you have to run it. And at the end of the day, we were able to run the ball when we had to run the ball, and they knew we had to run the ball. And that's a mark of two good backs. That's a mark of some tough guys up front. But certainly we struggled with that early in the game to move people and get movement. And that was a challenge. And give credit to these backs and Coach Chaney and the offensive line to overcome that.
This is for, I guess, Nick and Sony so much, is assuming roles as leaders on the team. What did the seniors show y'all over the past, I guess, month or so of practice in how to prepare to finish out a season and then come out here, overcome some adversity, and then finish it in the second half?
Our seniors was very committed to this team throughout the whole bowl season. Throughout practice, other teams, you'll probably have some seniors that are ready to go on to the next level and ready to continue with life. And our seniors just stuck in there and just fought with us throughout practice and came out here and fought hard with us even though we went through adversity.
Trent, was there a name for that dance you were doing on the field, and what was the reason you had so much success getting to Kenny Hill today?
I think I prepared, practiced pretty good. I went in the mindset that you got to stay low, shoot your hands, listen to your coaches, listen to your keys. The dance called it Johnny Dance.
Oh, that was the E.
Whoa. But, it was good success. I think overall it was a good defense today.
Nick, can you talk about, you entered today just a couple yards away, 4 yards away from becoming the second all-time leading rusher behind Herschel Walker. You got another 1,000-yard season, but things didn't come easy early. Can you just talk about your day and how you got stronger as the game went on, and what was the reason for that?
No matter who you play, it's always hard. At the very beginning of the game, everyone's fresh, everyone's into it, motivated. So it's just, as offense, we struggled. I kept going green out, and everything was, it's tough. But we never stopped. Nobody in the offense stopped. Nobody on the team stopped. We just kept pounding. We kept trusting, believing in what we do. And eventually we ended up, breaking some here and there. Sony, breaking a couple. I'm breaking a couple, and then after a while, nobody wants to keep tackling me. So, especially in bowl season, you kind of get away from your fundamentals. So I think eventually you just keep pressing, keep pounding, and wherever opening up about the record. It's a blessing to be where I am in this position. Keep moving forward. I thank God every day.
Sony, what did you see on your touchdown reception as that play developed, 3rd and 13? And did you feel like that score kind of helped the offense get going for the rest of the game?
Yeah, I think that was a great momentum shift. Any type of momentum that you get in the game is great. It's great for the team. I think Jacob Eason did a great job by reading the play out. He threw me the ball. And after that, it was just all fight for who wanted more. Us versus them.
For Nick, just what it's become the second leading rusher in Georgia history, just what that means to you and how big a deal that is for you.
That's definitely a blessing, And I never thought I'd be able to be right here, right now, where I am in this position. But it's it's a lot of hard work in there. A lot goes into it, not just myself, you know, just my teammates around me, everyone, friends, family, just a lot of support, and I'm just thankful. You know, hopefully, we keep it going, keep rolling, and see what happens next.
For coach and players as well, what does this do in terms of creating momentum going into next year with so many guys returning?
I think it does a lot as far as the momentum goes. I really believe that win or lose this game we just had, whether we won or lost, that this program's headed in the right direction. It certainly helps tremendously for us recruiting and momentum-wise to win the game, that good feeling. But it doesn't matter whether you got 7 wins, 11 wins, 13 wins. There's no elevator on a mountain. You know, you got to climb, you have to work, and that's what this team's going to do. They've done that all year. They've fought, and they'll continue to do that. It certainly helps. He said 8-5 is better than 7-6, but either one are where we want to be, and we know that, and we acknowledge that, and we know we got to have a better offseason, and we got to come out with a bunch of guys that are coming back. A large portion of our team is coming back and play well. And we got some young players that probably started reading some of their press clippings that didn't play real well today, and they've got to understand that it's every day you got to come to work. So,
Definitely, I'm excited to come back next year and go to work with this team. A lot of stuff ahead of us that we can accomplish, and I can't wait to just be able to get my hands on it and not help from support leaders to keep things going.
I want to say something else about these two. I mean, in a day and age where everything in football, you can say what you want. It's about me, 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 me. These two have never been like that. Not once. They're not me guys. They never point the finger at the O-line. They never point the finger at the quarterback. They never point the finger at the receivers. And they're committed to the University of Georgia by saying, I'm going to come back, get my degree, finish this thing right. They care about Georgia more than they just care about their career. They care about their career too, but they care about Georgia. Do you know how different that is in our society today? It's different. So it's a credit to these guys, and it really makes me respect them, because when I played, that's the way you felt about Georgia. You wanted to play for Georgia. These two are coming back to play for Georgia.
Coach Smart, so what's next after this? When do you kind of get on the recruiting trail, get back to work?
Yeah, we've got a little dead period in there where we're not allowed to go out. Obviously, with the playoffs going on and the championship going on, we don't get to go back out until I think the 12th. So we'll go back out recruiting the 12th. Our kids will be back in school. What are y'all, January 5th, maybe? January 5th, they're back in school. So we'll focus on what we've got to do at home on the home front before we worry about recruiting. But once we get to go out, we'll hit that hard and try to finish off what we think is a good class.
Coach, we saw numerous times today Jacob take off and run the football. Is that just kind of a product of him getting more comfortable playing at this level? And when he does take off, do you sort of cringe a little bit?
Well, these two guys have been working with him on it, so they've been over there teaching him where he cut and turn. They just didn't teach him how to get a first down on like 3rd and 12 and get like that far and leave me sitting there having to decide whether to kick it or go for it. I mean, he's got to understand where the sticks are and go get them. But he did a great. I mean, the first time he scrambled and threw it, which Sony had a great downfield block for Isaiah, and then he scrambled for a couple first downs that were big momentum swings. So Jacob's growing up. You know, I think he'd tell you that he missed some shots today. He had several shots that he just threw the guys out of bounds, and he's got to make those throws because those are chunk plays. Those are plays we need to loosen up the defense.
Coach, a guy that's not up here for you today, Lorenzo Carter, a couple of forced fumbles, 6 solo tackles. I mean, can you talk a little bit about what he brought to the table? Those 2 fumbles probably made the difference for you guys.
No question they did. No question. He could have easily been the MVP along with this guy on defense. I want to tell you something about Lorenzo now. I had a chance when we first got to the hotel to call out a couple players, and I said, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to call 3 or 4 guys out and challenge them and say, these guys got to play well. And we knew in this game, Lorenzo Carter's specialties come out. Spread, he can run, he never gets tired, he's fast, he's a good rusher, he ran plays down and chopped balls off. He's one of the guys that I called out. And you know what? He had a hell of a game. And he deserved it because he practiced really hard. Really proud of the way Lorenzo approached this game and the way he bought into what we were trying to do defensively. We asked him to do things that aren't natural. I mean, he has to spy the quarterback sometimes when he wants to rush. But it's what's best for the team sometimes. And he did that today. And, you know, I think all these kids are MVPs in my mind.
Trent, that MVP trophy is going to come home with you. Do you already know where it's going to go in your apartment or wherever it's going to go?
I'm gonna give it to my mom. She got like an area that she put all my trophies and plaques in. So she's gonna do what she wants to do with it.
And I've been to his house and seen that area. It's full of trophies. It's got tons of them there.
Coach, you touched on it a little bit more, but I guess personally for you, what does it mean to have not only guys like up on stage, but also younger guys that have yet to come to Georgia, sort of saying, we're coming here, we're establishing something new, and I guess just what does it mean for you to have all of those guys buying what you're selling? Because obviously you know sort of the best way to get to that championship pedigree.
Yeah, first of all, I think our staff for this game did a great job of selling to the kids that why are we playing this game? There's so many of these bowl games that the team that's on the crusade wins. The team that's just there to go play the bigger team. You know, and it really wasn't like that with ours because it was a good competitive matchup. I was very thankful we got TCU because I knew our players would respect a team that's got the most wins in the Big 12 over the last 3 years. So I knew they would respect those guys. But I think the buy-in is there because they believe. They've seen it work. Look, Georgia's been successful. We just want to take it another step. And we can do that through recruiting and getting the kids to buy in and playing well. What you can't do is say, oh, we're going to go have a great recruiting class and it's just automatically, magically going to happen. That's not the case. There's not a lot of difference in these recruiting classes. And the ones coming back, they're going to be 90% of your team. So these are the guys right here that got to work hard and be leaders, mentors for these younger players on our team who really don't know how to work yet. They really don't know how to work. We've got a lot of freshmen on our team that just don't know how to work yet. They haven't been through an off season. And these guys are going to have to show them how by leading. And you know, another thing about Nick, that's one of the things Nick said. He said, I'm coming back because I didn't get to really lead in the off season like I wanted to because he was over there doing rehab. He wants to affect the other players on the team, and I know Sony and Trenton are the same way.
To any of the players, I know the SEC had gotten off to a slow start in bowl season. How much were y'all kind of wanting this in part to kind of restore pride to the SEC after the attack criticism the league had gotten the last couple of days?
Nobody says anything. We had to talk about that at the team meeting, didn't we? Take it, boys. These guys probably don't even know the record of the SEC in the bowl game. You don't even watch the games?
I mean, it's good, you know, to be powerful in the SEC because even though we kind of go against them sometimes, but right now we still for them. So I cheer for SEC teams every bowl game. But I know now I saw something that I don't think we're winning right now overall, but I mean I feel like we can pull it out. I'm a fan of the SEC. I gotta admit, I don't care if I do play against them. I'm a fan of everyone in the SEC.
One more.
Kirby, going back to Sony's touchdown, just how much does that speak to his ability? Because it looks like a play, you know, he's going to be lucky to get the first down mark, and all of a sudden he breaks 3 or 4 tackles, able to get the end zone.
Well, it says a lot to the fact that we got to get the guy the ball, and we got to find ways to get him the ball in those situations where maybe it's not 10, 11 guys up there at the box, and it's where he's out in space because he's got a natural ability to make people miss. I've known that from defending against him for years, and he makes people miss. He made, I think, 3 maybe miss that whole play and just created momentum by what he did. So getting him the ball in space is a critical factor to our success, and he turned that into what he did pretty much by himself out there.
Kirby, thank you. Time for the trophy presentations, the award presentations. We're going to start with the offensive player of the game. That award is going to be presented by our friends at Bass Pro Shops. Jeff Warren appropriately has worked out. He's got that red cap on. To Sony Michelle. Sony, come on down. Congratulations. Did you buy anything at Bass Pro the other night, by the way? Bought a speaker. Next award is the Outstanding Defensive Player of the Game. That's Trenton Thompson. This award is going to be presented by Bill Kincaid from T-Shirt Champions. So if you want some swag, he can hook you up, Trenton. Okay, stay right there. The game's MVP award also goes to Trenton Thompson. This one presented by FedEx, and here representing FedEx today, Monica Skipper. Whoa. And Trenton, we're glad you're a big guy to haul that one home. We can tell you, I was at the Arkansas game late in the year, saw Ryan Mallett, who won that award.
Yeah.
Ryan has his award at his mama's house.
Oh, wow.
And of course, just a few years ago, Dak Prescott took home that same award. So Trenton, you're in good company. And not too many guys on the defensive side have won the game MVP. And Kirby, I know you take a lot of pride in that defensive player wins the game's MVP. And Kirby, we have something special for you. From the Memphis Lumbermen's Club, a hand-carved Liberty Bell, going to be presented by the president of the Lumbermen's Club of Memphis, Trey Trainum. Also going to bring up Ronnie Jorgensen, Kirby. Mr. Jorgensen has been making these by hand at his home workshop for 42 years. First year he presented it at a AutoZone Liberty Bowl game was 1974. So that is for you to put in your office or home. Congratulations, Kirby.
I'll make all these things heavy, that's for sure. You know where we're gonna win?
Kirby, guys, congratulations. We're proud you're our champion. Enjoy the off season. And thanks for a great weekend, man. Appreciate it.